I don't think so. Alright freshers, let's talk. So you have just graduated. You're ambitious, excited to enter into the real work world. But here's the catch. The internet has been pulling you in two different directions. So what should you do? Should you dive straight into a corporate job or should you start with freelancing? What's better for you as freshers? I mean, we all think of corporate jobs as those lifeless, boring, dull and full of rule jobs. And we think of freelancing as this beautiful, dreamy world where you set your own rules, where you yourself are your own boss, work wherever you like, whenever you like, and the cash just flows in. But maybe there's something here that no one's actually talking about. Something that the internet is not telling you all. So there's nothing wrong with freelancing. It's actually a really good option. But the problem here is all these social media influencers who have been marketing freelancing as a secret way of making so much money with so much of ease that it almost sounds like free income. And that's the problem. But what's the real truth? Well, let's break that for you all today in this episode of Freshers GPT with your host Ishita. So firstly, let's talk about why do people not like job. Number one reason, biggest hurdle for freshers, and that is you need relevant job experience. So every corporate job says that you need 2 to 3 years of experience before entering into a job. But hey, you're a fresher, fresh out of college, and the fresher definition means someone who does not have experience. So how are you supposed to have that experience if no one's hiring you? That is a problem. And then there's the interview process. Applying to multiple jobs, clearing aptitude tests, networking with a bunch of people, personal branding. I mean, it's a lot. And in case you apply for an on-site job, you'll actually have to switch your city to work in that company. And if you choose that, obviously your lifestyle, your habits, everything changes. But maybe as a fresher, the new experience is all fun, creative, and adventurous for you all in the start. And once you get in, there's that feeling when you're sitting on your desk and you feel like, am I underpaid? Am I underappreciated? What's the point of doing all this? And what if I could do something more creative? And then comes freelancing into the picture. So when COVID happened, it actually changed a lot of things for us, especially the way we worked. So because of the massive layoffs, people started getting worried about their salaries and also the fact if their company would lay them off as well. So to create a backup, a lot of people started getting into the trend of freelancing, which eventually fell flat post-COVID. But then, thanks again to all these social media influencers, freelancing has been marketed as the quickest way to earn money with almost zero effort. And that's the problem. You cannot earn money or build anything in life or make anything in life with zero effort. You need to understand this, that nothing in life comes easy. So moving forward, let's bust some common misconceptions about freelancing for all you freshers. Okay, the first misconception is that freelancing equals easy money. Okay, imagine this. You have to start your freelancing career. What's the first step that you need to take? Well, it's actually putting money in. Agree or not, it always requires an initial investment. Now that might be in the form of a new laptop, a new computer, a software, some XYZ course to upskill, a graphics card, or much more. But there will always be some cost related to your craft because now you don't have a company to provide you with these basic equipments to work. And second is the opportunity cost. So, like it or not, agree or not, it might be the case that for the first few months you may not earn at all because you have to build a brand, build the portfolio, network with a bunch of people, and clients usually take their time because they are not in a hurry. And for a couple of months, if you don't earn, you could have earned while you were in a job. So, take your salary and multiply it by 4 or 6 months and calculate. That's the money you actually lost while you were in freelancing because it takes time to build something. And not to forget, there are low earnings. So when you start off, things might seem pretty cool. You might get your first client, second client, third client right at the start. But you need to understand that the earnings are very low. And you may even have to work for free at times because this is all new and it takes time. Similarly, if you work in a job, you start thinking that your first salary, your first month will be enough. It won't. Your first 2 years are actually just to establish you. So if your skills and trust compound every year, hopefully your salary also goes up every year. Unlike freelancing. Now, this discussion isn't about being an employee versus freelancing. It's about you. Do you really care about the skills that you have? And are you upskilling them every year? If yes, then either freelancing or a job, you have nothing to worry about. Trust me, you'll be fine. Okay, the second misconception in freelancing is that getting clients is very easy. No problem. I mean, too many clients are available out there, so I will get at least one, right? I mean, one client should be really easy, right? And then comes the second, then comes the third, then I'll do some marketing and double it to 6. Income will also be 6 times, but again, the reality is very different. It actually might take months to land that first client, and even then, the pay might be very low. Imagine this, you're in a market and it's an open market, right? With full of clients. And now you are looking at multiple clients. Clients are looking at multiple freelancers. And clients not only have freelancers, they also have old employees, existing employees, people they want to promote, other agencies, small businesses, large businesses, and a freelancer. Which means that for every single job, you'll be competing with a lot of others. And of course, in case you're working for a shitty company, there are high chances that they might just not pay. And you cannot do anything about that. So if you look at these different websites like Upwork, Fiverr, where you are trying to look for different jobs, type one profile, any profile, and you'll see different jobs out there. And that is when you'll realize that the competition is actually intense. And even if, let's say, you do get your first job, you do get your first client, the problem of recurring revenue will always be there. So there actually be no stability. And the truth is that if you are watching this video, you do care about your money, your time, and your future. Misconception number 3. Freelancing equals freedom of time. Now the expectation is very simple, that you are your own boss. So you work whenever you feel like, and if you don't feel like working, you don't. And if you're a night owl, you feel like working at night, so you work at night. There's no clock in, no clock out, no punch in, no punch out. It's your freelancing project. But again, the reality here is slightly different. Inconvenient calls, inconvenient timings, checking literally every day if your payment has arrived or not. Now, if you work for an international client, you'll be actually working during the night and you'll be figuring out your normal life during the day. So this will mess your biological clock, not to forget your social life. And I'd also like to remind you all that there's literally no one in this world who does not have a boss. I mean, if you're a freelancer, you'll have multiple. And if you're a business owner, you'll have investors. But there's no escape out. And then there's constant juggling between multiple clients. So let me explain how this works. So now you have multiple clients who will give you multiple deadlines with multiple pay parities, which they might pay in a few months or over time. And you will have to figure out all of this on your own. And trust me, it can get overwhelming. And that's the problem. Now the problem here is for every piece of work that you're doing, you're being incentivized. Which means your brain will lie to your heart and your body that you can work a bit more. In fact, the first year, it might all seem like a breeze. You will be very happy that every time you do a work, you get paid very soon, then and there. But very soon, you'll realize that in this entire process, you have been completely neglecting your mental health and your physical health. And if you are someone who cannot balance this, then freelancing is probably not for you. Now, let's flip the coin. So see, corporate jobs might seem tough, but we need to understand that it provides you something that freelancing doesn't, and that is structure. So you do get mentorship, you do get training, and you also get a chance to learn how the industry works actually with the people around. And corporate jobs also teaches you discipline and teamwork. And these skills are just invaluable, no matter where your career takes you. Plus, you gain daily confidence because you will be interacting with different personalities in person every day. Plus, there's a steady paycheck. It might be small, it might be less, but it's consistent. And that's what matters. So now the $1 million question. What's better for freshers? Well, the answer to this depends on you. If you're someone who values stability, structure, learning from others, then corporate job is your thing. But if you're someone who's highly skilled, highly motivated, wants to hustle and explore all the adventures of life, then freelancing could be a great option for you. My advice, if you're unsure, start with a corporate job to gain experience and build your network, because you can always switch to freelancing later. Remember, it's not about the job you're doing. It's about growing your skills and knowing your worth. If you guys found this video helpful, put a thumbs up and tell us in the comments about your personal experience, and if you have a different perspective towards it, that you can share in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Freshers GPT for more such videos.